Hey everyone, IREX guy here. Now something that a lot of people don't, well maybe it's not that they don't understand it, but they just don't necessarily take the time to master it. And it doesn't take a lot of research, but if you're going to go out and you're looking at a new vehicle, a used vehicle, whatever the case may be, you're going to be dealing with those salespeople. And they're going to try to make you feel good because that's what they want to do. They want to make you feel good, feel like you're making the right decision, and they're just going to present numbers to you like it's a great deal, and they're not going to flinch because they're experienced with their facial expressions and their body language. So how do you win when you go to buy a vehicle? Well, one thing you need to do, if you're trading in a vehicle, before you go to that lot to look at it, go to kbb.com, kellybluebook.com, enter your vehicle specifications, the one you'd be trading in, and the mileage and options you may have. Put all that together, and then based upon the condition, I would look at excellent condition. More than likely, dealerships aren't going to go into the excellent condition territory, but assuming your vehicle's in good condition, I would probably be targeting that good condition KBB value that you get after you run all your information through there. So that'll give you a good idea of what you could expect to get for your trade-in. But don't let that deceive you, because a lot of salespeople, they will bump up the value of that trade-in because they know that customers nowadays, before they go out to a lot, they look at Kelley Blue Book, kbb.com, and they're armed and ready with that. So say, for example, your trade-in vehicle appraised for $15,000 in good condition. And then you go to that car lot and they say, oh, your vehicle trade-in is $17,000. That'll fool a lot of people because they're thinking, wow, these people are giving me more than Blue Book. What they're doing that to deceive because they're making money elsewhere. So not only do you need to get, if you're trading, not only do you need to get your KBB, Kelley Blue Book value for your vehicle you plan to trade in, but you also need to research the makes and models of vehicles that you're interested in and see what the manufacturer's suggested retail price is for those. And there's a website, and I'm linking these websites on the video description, but autobytel.com. It's a good one that I found. You can go in, you can enter the vehicle brand, the make, the different trims of the vehicle, accessories, all that, and get a pretty good feel for what a dealership would probably charge. So you're armed with that information. You go out to the dealership, you're going to go out there and they're going to do that whole sales thing, just kind of ignore all that, all the smoke and mirrors, and just focus on test drive. Find what you like. But don't narrow it down to one vehicle, because if you do, they're going to know you're stuck on it and you know what you want. What you want to do, of those vehicles that you like, maybe it's the same model, but there's the one with the cloth seats, there's the one that's kind of in the middle, and then there's a fully loaded leather seat, all the gadgets and all that. Drive them all. Start out, when you start the haggling process, after they realize you might be interested in this, start the negotiation with trying to find the number for the most expensive vehicle, the leather seats and all the accessories. Go ahead and pull out your vehicle and say, hey, tell me what my trade-in value for this vehicle would be, and see if I could even get in a space where I could, feel comfortable with doing that fully loaded leather with all the electronics. Get them to come back with some numbers. Look at all those numbers, and they're going to try to spin you on all that. What you're concerned with, A, is the appraised value that they're giving your trade-in vehicle. So you got that. That's ammunition you can use going forward. And then B, what's the offer they're going to give you for for that new vehicle you want, the fully loaded with all the bells and whistles. And then see how that compares to the sticker on the window, because that'll give you an idea how much they came off of that fully loaded vehicle. So now you've got the trade-in that they would be willing to give you for your old vehicle, the price they would be willing to to sell you that fully loaded leather seats, all the gadgets vehicle. You got that information, but that's not what you want. You just did that to kind of play the reverse sales game with them. So, you come back and you say, well, that's just way more than I want to spend. And then they'll be like, well, maybe we can make it work for you. Go ahead and let them do it. Go ahead and let them run your credit report and see what kind of APR they come back with. Because if you're financing a vehicle, see what kind of APR they're going to approve you at. And that's based upon your credit worthiness. So they run a little test. They call a number. I don't know how a credit check works, but basically it comes back with a number. And based upon where you fall within these categories, that's how good of an APR you get. So an APR, if you're financing a vehicle, they're usually different terms. Now they're offering extended APRs. In the past, 72 was about 72 months. Was about the best one would expect to receive. And that was still somewhat uncommon. 60 was probably the most common until recently. Now you've got 72, you've got like 80, 84-month term. All kinds of different terms now. So go ahead and get them to run that credit check, see where you come back at as far as credit worthiness is concerned. Okay, now armed with all of that information, you're still going to be disappointed because the APR they come back with, you're going to say, no, you can wiggle, because they've always got wiggle room. They're seldom ever going to come back and give you your bottom line APR. And then they're going to give you this bill, well, we want to finance in-house, but, we could call third parties and see what kind of APR they might offer. Go for that, because those other people, they're likely going to give you an even better APR. So just keep doing this. Get the APR lowered. Keep haggling for that top dollar vehicle fully loaded with all the gadgets. Get them down as much as you can and see how much they're willing to work. And then throw the bomb on them. Just be like, this just isn't going to work. And once they've exhausted themselves with saying how it might work, and then they finally got to the point where they say, well, there's nothing else we can do, why don't we look at other vehicles? Well, if they don't say it, you say it when they say they can't do any better. Because otherwise you're going to walk away. So then that's when you throw the card out and you're like, well, you know what, I really wanted the leather and I wanted all of the electronic gadgets. But since we've already got the trade-in value and you've got the bottom line APR, we seem to have that figured out. Let's see what kind of deal you can make me on the, go to the medium tier. Maybe it's leather, but it has none of the doesn't have GPS navigation, all that stuff. Go to that, see what they're going to cut you. See how that goes. And even if you feel that middle of the line vehicle is a price you could stomach, act like it's not. And the reason being is that even if you're willing to go forward with that, still go a tier below and really confuse them, make them think you're a really hard person to sell, and that you're going to walk away and you're not going to earn your business. And then say, well, how about just the bare bones car you got? That bare bone trim. See what they're going to give there. And then, once they give that, be like, well, that sounds pretty good, but can you come down a little bit on that medium level vehicle? And more than likely at that point they will, because they know at that point the top of the line leather with all the bells and whistles is out of the question. They're not going to sell you that. They know they've tried everything they can. They're not going to get you on that. They also know that the middle of the line vehicle, at least according to the way you projected yourself, you didn't show any enthusiasm or whatever, the middle of the line vehicle, they feel you're not interested in because it's too expensive. It may or may not be too expensive in your mind. That's your secret. And they know the bottom of the line vehicle, that you're not that enthused about it, so they're probably going to lose a sale. Even if the price was right there, they're probably going to lose the sale because they can tell you don't want it. And this is where it gets fun. So now what you do, you use that to your advantage. Because they know you're probably going to walk away from the bottom of the line vehicle, and they know that they haven't sold you on the middle of the line vehicle. So this is where you challenge them. Go back to see your sales manager. You tell them to go back and see their sales manager. What's the bottom line out the door you're going to give me for this middle of the line vehicle? And about 90% out of the time, if they care about selling, Now, there's something about sales that a lot of people don't realize. Even if someone's just making a very small commission based upon a sale, they would often rather, not break even, but maybe just make a few $100 rather than see a customer walk out the door. And the reason being is that all these salespeople compete for sales numbers. It's how many vehicles were sold in what period of time. So if they can just get that sale, they've won, because they didn't have a customer walk away. They didn't make a lot of money, but they had the bragging rights among their fellow salespeople because they sold one more vehicle. So keep this in mind, and never walk into a dealership, never test drive a car, never make yourself seem like you like something. Even if you have analyzed everything and you know exactly going in there, that's exactly what you want to get with the exact features, this, that, and the other. Play this game, and I don't make any guarantees, but if you play this, if you use this strategy, my strategy, you're probably going to find yourself walking out of a dealership, with a poker face on the whole time you're in there, but when you walk out and everything's signed and done, probably going to have a smile on your face because you're like, whoa, I got a better deal than I even expected when I woke up this morning and went out there. But just something I thought I'd share. Feel free to share this video with others, and welcome any comments or feedback you may have. Good luck.